uh, hey, I'm Tyquan. Nice to meet you. I'm actually gonna talk to you about studying abroad. Don't pay no mind to the screen behind me. Studying abroad, pretty much about going to another person's life, looking through their eyes and seeing what goes on a daily basis in their lives in their country, allowing you to see the footsteps that they take, the decisions that they make, the things that they go through on a daily basis in order to succeed in their lives and continue to live their life. That's pretty much what studying abroad is. Now, even though studying abroad has three little problems, which is pretty much homesickness, cost and tuition, and the last thing, of course, is language barriers. Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm Mike Schindel. I'm
nice
one of
to meet
the
you.
associate coordinators in the Office of International Education.
Oh,
So,
nice to meet you.
nice
Nice
to
to
meet
meet you. I just pretty much did you studied abroad?
I did. When I was in high school, I lived with a family and did a family exchange in Italy and lived there for about a month.
Yeah.
And then when I was in my undergraduate, I studied abroad for a summer in Mexico.
Oh.
And then after I finished school, I lived in Spain for a year and taught English.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever been like homesick during that time?
I think initially I think most students, and then when I say about it, I went through this too, that when you first get to the country, you are so excited and everything is new, and you just want to see everything all at once.
Yeah.
And, like, hit all the sites and things like that. And then, kind of after a month, it starts to settle in.
Right.
And you're like, I'm away from home, I don't have, like, McDonald's that I can go to and things like that, certain American comforts you miss.
Right.
But with that, it's important for me just to be active and involved. I would try different new foods. I would go explore like a neighborhood I'd never been to before.
Oh, okay.
And then trying to get involved as much as possible in the community.
Right.
And then by the end of it, it's not enough time. You finally feel comfortable,
Right.
and you feel like a local, and you feel like you want to stay and stay with your friends there. And then all of a sudden you're uprooted and you're back in America, and you're like, oh my God, you develop this new routine while you're in Europe or things like that. That whole routine is completely different. So it works both ways. You can get a little homesick for your country abroad too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So pretty much it's all about just just adapting and doing things that'll keep your mind off of not really thinking about the fact I was gone from where I lived at for so long.
Exactly. I think a lot of it too has to do with daily routine.
Right.
Because your routine's going to be interrupted, and so what you have to do is adapt, like you're mentioning, to their style of life in some sense. Like when I was living in Spain, it took a lot of getting used to Spanish siesta. So I would work in the morning, and then everything would shut down from about 2 to 5. And being American, I wasn't used to that, and I wasn't used to not being able to go to the supermarket and things like that because everything was closed. And then everything would open up at night and stay open until about 3. And so if I went out after work with my colleagues, they would be out until 3 in the morning. I would be exhausted.
Exactly, yeah.
And so getting used to that and kind of adapting my eating schedules and adapting sleep patterns as well. By the end of it, I was napping like everybody else. So, But yeah, I think getting used to those kind of disruptions and really actively and consciously changing your routine in some sense to try and, I don't know, to fit in some sense, but also like assimilate into the culture. That's a good way to keep your mind off being homesick, off the things you miss, but also to really integrate into the community as well.
Wow,
so,
that's good. That is great. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, anytime.
And just keep doing what you're doing. Because I know it makes a big change in the world.
Oh, thank you.
I think that it's a great thing. So
yeah, well, we have to get you to study abroad now.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, sounds good.
Yep. So
Look forward to it.
All right.
had several years of Spanish before I left, and that's why I opted to take my classes in Spanish. I arrived and I stayed at a hostel for a week, and I was in that first shock of, holy cow, here I am. So I was very nervous with my Spanish, and I tried to refrain from using it actually for that first week because the hostel was full of international people. So they all spoke English to me at breakfast. The receptionists at the hostel would talk to me in English. They knew that I was nervous. The university administration, when I went to visit them, spoke to me in English for the first little bit to help me understand what was going on. And then after that, it was kind of like, all right, here I go. I have to get the Spanish down. I took a 1-month intensive language course in Uruguay, and my Spanish professor had 3 students, and she was very picky about how we pronounce things. She would say, no gringo, no gringo. And eventually, within that month, I started making friends within the international community, and I felt a lot more comfortable speaking. I had been living with my Uruguayan roommate, and so it came a lot easier.
Study abroad, going into another life and understanding what it is on their feet. Trying to give up a fight but can't stop because you don't know what to see. How far must we go until we see there's something on another road? So we live in their eyes, trying to understand what they do and how they cry. But we can't stop, knowing there was more that they had to drop. Let me tell you what it is that I see on the other side. See, in their eyes, I see a bunch of people running around trying to understand the different things they can do in order to continue to survive. So what must I do in order to protect them? Must I go back to the world, or should I stop so I drop this? Drop this for what? Because on their side we can understand a brighter future. A future that will create all of us to come one as one unison. So why must I stop and make it to this place as I walk into their world and understand with their grace what it is to be replaced, or how to create change in a world that must be changed between 2 places. Thank you.